Hello everyone, welcome to the new session. So in the last class we were talking about the conditional sentences and its three types. And today we will speak about the places wherein which we can replace the word if. So in the three types of sentences and the conditional sentence we have studied that the word if or unless will be used in order to make a conditional sentence. And we will also study about the other words which gives the same meaning as if. So the first one, so there are words like but for, suppose, provide, unless and otherwise and so on. So we will just see what are these words and how it works in a conditional sentence, or how can we change the word or the word if into the other word. For example, the word suppose or supposing, which means what if. Suppose means what if. So the example, if there is an earthquake, what shall we do? If there is an earthquake, what shall we do? So this is a conditional sentence which is used with the word if. And how do we transform it? That is, suppose there is an earthquake, what shall we do? Suppose, which means what if. What will happen after that? Or what if? Or suppose there is a earthquake, what shall we do? So the word suppose can be used in order to make a conditional sentence, which means in order to replace the word if. The second word is but for. The first word is suppose, and the second one is but for. Suppose and but for. Suppose and but for. So what is the meaning of but for? For example, if it were not nor, or if it hadn't been for. In the sense, if there was no air, we would have died. So this is an example which is given for the usual if clause. And how do we transform it? That is, but for air, we should have died. But for air, in the sense, if it is not there, the particular thing, if it is not there, for example, if it were not for, it hadn't been for. On the sense, if there was no air. So the word if there was no is shortened into but for air. The meaning is, if it is not there, if the air is not there, we should have died. So that is the meaning of but for, and it is used in replacing the word if. I will give one more example. That is, if it were not for this intervention, we would have fought. That is, but for his intervention, we would have fought. So the but is used in order to speak about were not, or were not for, or was not for. Instead of that, we will use the word if, the word but for. So that is the second one. And the next one is provided. That is provided. The word provided. So here, provided, that is used mainly with the permissions. For example, if you finish your homework, you can play. That will be converted like this: provided you finish, or provided that you finish, or provided you finish your homework, you can play. Which means it's a permission like. So we can also convert if with the provide also. And the next one is otherwise. Otherwise is like this: if it does not happen, the meanings are in different ways. Okay, if it does not happen, or if it did not happen, or if it had not happened. For example, if you don't study, you won't succeed in life. So that will be converted like this: study hard, otherwise you won't succeed in life. Otherwise, in the sense, if it did not happen, study hard. If you did not study hard, you will not, otherwise you will not succeed in life. So that is, if it does not happen, which means if you did not study, you will not get succeed in life. So that is the meaning of the word otherwise. And we will move on to the last one, that is unless. Otherwise and unless. So I kept the particular word unless for last because apart from all these words, the particular word unless has a speciality. You know why? Because unless is a word which shows negation. For example, see, if plus negative, it is possible, but unless plus negative. For example, if he does not take medicine, he wouldn't get well. So here, the if clause and the independent clauses are negative sentences. When we come to the next one, we will see, which means we replace if with unless. That is, unless he takes medicines, he won't get well. So here, after unless, we will not use a negative form of the word in the sentence. In the same clause, we will use the affirmative or positive form of the word in the sentence. That's why it is used unless he takes medicine. In the above sentence, it was if he does not take medicine, which means if plus negative can be possible, or if you do that, no, there won't be any problem. But if you use unless, there will not be negative form in the sentence. The sentence will be affirmative sentence. That's why we have changed it, if he does not take medicine, into unless he takes medicine. So that is the change which will be happening. There is one more example. If the mother does not come, he will not go to the cinema. So it is changed like this: unless the mother comes, we will not go to the cinema. We see as if there is no negative sentence, as if there is no negation of the sentence, but the word unless itself shows a negation of the sentence, and so the sentence will be negative. So that is the speciality about unless. And towards the end, so that is with regard to the replacing of if, and towards the end we see shortened variations like these occur in each of the three conditional types, like if is left out and should, were, had, or placed before their subjects. For example, should he recover from his illness, he would take the examinations. So which means instead of if, should is added with certain cases, and also where, had, and all those things are added in certain cases. So this is with regard to the conditional sentence and replacing if with these words like suppose, but for, provided, otherwise, and unless. So this is all about the session, and we will come up with a new session in the next class. Thank you.